It is that time again, that big time again, where I talk to you guys about my latest homebrew. So why not? This one's a little interesting. Beer, 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 ba beer, ba beer, beer, beer. Hello everybody, welcome back to me, Mate Brewski, for a little bit of a look at my latest home brew. This is homebrew number 4, White IPA test. Didn't give it a proper name this time around. We got a bottle, we got an empty glass, I got some stats here about what the hell I put in it. Got my Leatherman signal here for a bottle opener, and yeah, you know what? A little backstory on this beer. It was a test, obviously, as the name suggests, for my project brew at the Niagara College. It's our final beer, and well, you're gonna see why my project brew was not a white IPA, but a saison. So let's crack this beer open. Let's dive right in. And let's get to talking about this brew. Here we go, nondescript glass here. Pour it up. We can talk about it. Can we get some head? Not really. A little bit, not much. There we go. Now, you're probably wondering, Ruski, you said it was a white IPA. And yes, that's what I was going for, but apparently it's far from white. It is definitely a more orangey amber color, extremely hazy because I do not have a proper filtering system, because I have a very basic home brew system that has an 8 gallon mash tun / kettle, buckets for fermentation and bottling, and then a strainer that my mom has. It's the most filtering we get. But looking at the beer, yes, super hazy. Amber orange in color, off-white head on top. Now, what is in this miraculous brew, you may be wondering. We have 5 pounds of Pilsner, 4.33 pounds of torrefied wheat, a pound of honey malt, and about just over half a pound of flaked oats. For the hops we used, I used Centennial and Citra. Both later addition hops at 5 minutes and flame out. So that's it. Let's dive in. Let's have a smell. On the nose. Oh, also the yeast that was used was a New England IPA used from Lulleman, a dry yeast packet. On the nose, small little notes of coriander and orange. I did also use sweet orange peel because they messed up the order and I didn't get bitter orange peel, and I used coriander. I don't remember the amounts on those, but it wasn't much. So yeah, light notes of orange peel and coriander. Again, bitter orange peel would have been the preference, but I ended up with sweet. That's what it is. Not too much else going on really. A little bit of a bubble gum, very muddied notes, a little musty as well per se. Let's dive in on the sip. As for the sip, there's really nothing there, to be completely honest. It's just not that good. And I'm going to admit it, this batch did not go as planned at all. When I get the final product, it is low in intensity on coriander and orange, a little wisp here, little bits of bubble gum, no real hoppiness or like delicious hoppiness, just sort of light citrusy bitterness per se. And overall, it's bland and it's a little musty, I want to say. Also, on here, cheers everybody, let's keep on drinking, do that spiel. There's just something right in the middle of this where it tastes exactly like carbonated water or tonic water per se. So did not come out how I wanted it to. One thing I also want to add in is that I think it's fermented for 2 weeks, and I think at about day 10 or between day 10 and 11, I had my parents put in a steeped chamomile tea into the fermenter, and well, we get this this thing. Again, not that great in my opinion at all. Not really an IPA, not really like a Belgian wit, and obviously not the two combined. This does not happen. Well, this hasn't happened in the past in all of these 4 beers. This is definitely the worst homebrew I have produced. I'm not saying it tastes terrible or bad or off. It's just bland. It's bland. That's really the best way to describe this beer. And as for the ABV, it's sitting around that, I think. What was it? I don't remember off the top of my head, but I remember the gravities. I think the starting gravity was about 1051, and final gravity did not drop a lot. Something happened with the fermentation. It was 1020 or something like that, which gives you about 0.0031 times 131.25. It's about a 4%, 4.1% beer, depending on how you deal with decimals. So it wasn't a boozy beer at all, which is fine, I guess, but pretty disappointed with it. Bland. There's nothing really going on. Little wisps, coriander and orange peel, a little bit of hoppiness to it, more like a citrusy rind character on the back end, and just like musty. I don't know where that mustiness would have came in, unless it's part to do with the yeast that was used. Every time I've done a dry yeast, hasn't really worked out for me the best on a home scale, on a home brewing basis. I don't rehydrate the yeast, the dry yeast. Probably should do that, make it into a slurry, but I definitely have a lot more positive outcomes when I've used a liquid yeast. The only time I didn't have a good time with liquid yeast was the Kvike yeast. I think it was the Arset Kvike from Escarpment Labs, but that was due to my own brewing of it, where or no, not brewing, but fermentation of it, where I had it actually ferment really, really cold. I fermented it at, like, I think it was like between 16 to 17 degrees. And with Kvikes, you want them hot. You want them hot and heavy. So that was my fault there. Still turned out pretty well. The beer actually a hell of a lot better than this. This is definitely the one that kind of, shit the bed per se. So suffice it to say, I did not go forward with a white IPA for my project brew. If you've been keeping up with my Instagram, you know what it is. It is a saison based off of the rich Russian homebrew that I did, homebrew number 3, that I did a video with Andre. Check out here to see that one. That saison turned out a hell of a lot better, and I think the project brew saison, I kegged it the other day as of recording this video, and it's be ready for it. If you get a chance to purchase it from the Niagara College winery brewery kind of deal, you're in for a treat. So thank me for not putting this one out to you guys, because this was is a bit of a disappointment. And you know what? I feel bad kind of saying it was a disappointment, but at the same time, I'm pretty proud of me saying that, because it's good to know when you make something and it does not turn out well. Yeah, not happy with this beer. Happy to see it go. This is the last bottle of it. My friend Richmond, that you've seen in a few videos, he took 2 sips and absolutely did not. He was just like, no, don't even worry about giving me anything. This is not for me. My god brother Jonathan apparently really liked it, and I think one of his friends really liked it. I think it was maybe, boosting it up a little bit because I'm not a big fan. And my other friend Daniel, who tried it as well, he enjoyed it, but not to the greatest degree, just because he isn't a vast, he doesn't have a vast palate for craft beers per se. So I appreciate that though. But I got good feedback off of it. But me being me and being my harshest critic, I would absolutely not brew this beer again. But I would change it. I would brew it again, change up the yeast, change up the, change up the yeast, and probably add more coriander and go to bitter orange peel. Next time, the malt regime, or the malt bill, I'm a little confused on the wheat. I might change up the wheat to do unmalted wheat, and then do a what do they call it? Decoction mash, like a multi-step mash per se. But yeah, I would not go with a torrefied wheat again. But yeah, very bland, very meh, a little musty. Just a sad beer, to be completely honest. A very sad beer with a very neutral flavor to it. Not proud of it, but hey, it happens. You know what? It's the first batch that has went more or less terribly wrong, but it won't be the last. But I'm happy that it happened, because it gives you a little points to see where you're lacking and when how to grow off of those mistakes. So that's pretty much it. Overall, I'd give this beer like a 2 out of 10, to be honest. Not that great. A little ashamed to make this video because I know I can make better beer, but hey, it's a learning curve. Shit happens, and sometimes you don't get what you thought you were gonna get. 100% okay with that. But yeah, kind of just shooting the shit, talking about the beer here. I'm almost done it, thank God. And yeah, the next homebrew coming up won't be brewed until the end of the month, funny enough. Just because in these last few weeks of school, it is just absolutely crazy. And with the new lockdowns in effect, it's even harder to work on your project brew because we can't have the whole class in the brewery all at the same time. Which is fine, we're going to work around that, we're going to get all of our assignments done, and yada yada yada. But it's been a little bit of a struggle. But yes, more homebrews will be coming. I promise. I will shoot some stuff on the next one, because the next homebrew that I'm doing with my buddy Richie, that you've seen multiple times. Me, him, my brother, and my dad, we're going to tackle a big, or hopefully big and boozy, Russian Imperial Stout. Not barrel aged, because I don't have barrels to age it in. But we're going to attempt a big boozy bastard of a beer. Because you know what? Me and my best friend Richie, we love our big boozy beers. We have friends that also love big boozy beers, and we're thinking, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I got a recipe already designed. I got most of the ingredients already upstairs, just waiting to be brewed up. And it's going to be a fan-freaking-tastic time. I think we're looking at about anywhere from 9 to 10%, if everything goes as planned. We got some oak cubes to throw in as secondary to give it a little bit of oakiness to it as well. We got a shit ton of poundage of malts. I'm fairly excited, and I can't wait to start brewing that beer. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun shit. Beer questions and stuff. This isn't my regular outro, but it is what it is. I'm going to end this now because I'm out of brain power. We had Easter dinner, and I'm still full and a little sleepy. So I'll end on the final sip. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for watching. With all that said, that's going to do it for me, mate Brewskin. Like I always say, crack a beer and enjoy. Cheers. Take it easy.